life for any ERP and any company. Without of GL, we cannot do any transactions. So, what is the importance of GL and how it is an impact of our company's financial uh, uh, position, like it impacts to profit and loss account as well as balance sheet simultaneously in a class cash flow. So what is the inflow and what is the outflow, that impact, that affect to all are depends on the transactions only. So before doing the transactions, we should be understand that what is transaction, how does it works in our day-to-day business activities. So this topic is GL master data, SAP General Ledger accounts. So everyone know that GL master data is control and passing of accounting transaction to GL account. In order to post anything to general ledger, GL master is mandatory. So without GL master, we cannot make any single entry. So for that reason, it is required in finance as well as in control. So the GL is mandatory. So GL for financial, uh, GL is used for the financial transactions analysis and reporting purpose. So general ledger accounts are fundamental master data in FI. These SAP GL accounts are essential for capturing accounting detail and financial reporting. Also, we use them for recording purpose, financial transactions, and tracking account balances to fulfill external financial reporting requirements, legal and other. These are the transactions that is required for the preparation of our financial reports for every quarter end, and if some companies are required these reports in a monthly basis, some are required for a yearly basis, some are based on quarterly basis. As a limited company and it's what is called listed companies, it is required um, on the quarterly basis. They have to upload these financial reports on BSC and NSC to know about the investors, what is the state, what is the financial position of the company, whether we can invest in this company for the years, or what is the financial position the company based on the profitability and the cost allocation. So we can come to a conclusion that this company is more profitable than past years, and based on that we can come to an analysis that these companies are more profitable in coming years. So the investors always focus on the financial position of the company. Am I right? Throughout the
Yes,
use
yes,
of
yes.
SAP GL accounts, in SAP we assign GL accounts the chart of accounts. Chart of accounts means a list of accounts. GL accounts means it's a group of accounts. So based on which we can segregate these accounts. We use them in all accounting transactions and enter them either manually or derived through accounts determination. This is a procedure which use predefined GL accounts, because in SAP it is already provided that predefined some GL accounts that we can assign with our general ledger accounts. Before getting into the specific of the GL master structure, it is important that we can understand the value of a clean, well-versed chart of accounts. Okay, the backbone of GL account data, GL master data in SAP is chart of account. What is chart of account? Chart of account is simply a complete collection of GL accounts, like trial balance. Trial balance is the balances of all GL accounts and group of accounts. In SAP, we define a chart of account and assign it to the company code level, because we generate the report based on our company level, and each company have their own chart of accounts, and one chart of account can assign for multiple companies, and based on which we can generate consolidate report. And consolidate report means in a group of companies Like we have two companies and one means two company codes and one company. This is called consolidate report. At the end of the quarter, we generate the report, financial report, which company have profitability and which company have a loss. So where can we invest more money and where we can control the cost. This all depends on the financial reports only, and based on which the chart of account we design. When FI is the first setup and one of the most important steps, it is to determine the structure of the chart of accounts. Generally, we use the chart of accounts like fixed assets, cash and liquidity, expenses, general balance sheet, revenue, secondary cost element. The secondary cost element is linked up with costing. Okay, so we cannot right now we are not. I'm not discussing about the cost because we have already discussed about the cost elements and cost structure and cost and what is profitability and all. So now we generally use some standard accounts group, that is assets, current assets in under the assets, fixed assets, current assets. Likewise, liability, it's also a current assets, current liability, and as well as we generate expense and revenues. Expense, that day-to-day activity that is incurred for our business operations, and revenue that we generate to sale of our product and services, based on which we have to make the payment to the statutory department, that is called professional tax, ESI, PF, and our GST. Other taxes that we will discuss in further classes related to TDS, withholding tax and all. Okay. The good thing is that the addition to GL account by number range, because here we assign the GL number range for asset classes 1, for liability means 2, for in expenses 4, and revenue for 3. So based on which we can identify this number range is related to asset, 1 for asset, 2 for liability, 3 for uh, revenue, and 4 for expenses. But it depends on the company to company and client to client how they're required. So based on the client requirement, based only we create number ranges for GL masters. The good thing is that addition of the GL account by number ranges, SAP enables you to design each as a balance sheet and profit and loss account. This subdivided GL accounts further into accounts group and make individual settings with each GL accounts for added control, because we generally create our GL accounts based on the chart of account, general data, and company code data. These three are the most important for creation of any GL account. The chart of accounts is linked up with company code level, general data that is mandatory, and the company code data that is also mandatory, based on which we can create our pages. So these are the group. These are accounts group, and we're going to discuss about so we can create these GL accounts group as well as the GL accounts based on chart of account, general data, company code data. What is chart of account? In the previous session, we described the chart of account at a high level. It's an important concept that we will go to the greater detail. SAP define a chart of accounts as a classification scheme or consists of a group of GL accounts. Means in a fixed assets, there are multiple accounts like building, plant and machinery, and office equipment, furnitures and all. There are also GL accounts, and this is linked up with one chart of account is fixed assets. Likewise, income also we can generate like interest income, sales revenue, service related. These are called the expense. Means income that we are generating in our day-to-day business activities, and the expenses like purchase, procurement expenses, transportation, logistics, sales and distribution. These are also called an expenses. That is also linked up with chart of accounts, because without of this chart of accounts we cannot create any GL accounts. So each GL is mandatory, and the required field to be assigned means we need to select these GL GL groups, means account group that we need to select, based on which this GL that we have created in FS00, so that is reflected in our trial balance as well as profit and loss accounts. If wrongly, if we select one GL account is related to P&L account, and that we have selected for the balance sheet account, it is an expenses, but it is reflecting in balance sheet accounts. So that means it won't it will select, it will create the account, but it is reflecting in balance sheet, not in P&L account. So here we have to make the payment, means the tax that we need to pay extra additionally. But how we can identify? Based on the GL masters, we have created a wrong GL for expense related, but it is selected balance sheet. So at the time of creation of the GL, we need to concentrate on the GL creation, and that at the time only we can identify that this is purely related to balance sheet item or profit and loss account. Okay. In the previous section, we discussed the chart of account at a high level. It's an important concept. So here we will go to the greater details. SAP define a chart of accounts as a classification schemes consisting of a group accounts that provide a framework for recording values to ensure an orderly rendering of accounting data. If the transaction happen today and we are going to post in next day, that means this transaction goes for 1 day. In accounting system, it says that day-to-day transaction in a systematic and chronological order. Chronological order means, so this transaction happened today. That means it should be posted today itself. If you're going to post wrongly for the next year, the cost is incurred for last previous year, and we are showing these expenses in a next year. That means this cost reduce the profitability of the company. So the company has to pay more profit, means more tax on the cost that is incurred for the previous year, and the company has to bear this pay, means the tax amount to state government or central government. Okay, so we need to the transaction should be understand, and it should be in a chronological order. Based on that, we can post in the system. Whatever the ERP or the company is using their own software, so that also important for posting. At the entry level, the person who is posting, it should be in a proper way, so that in Tally ERP or some other ERP, we can post the entries, and that can be rectified. But in SAP, it is not post. It is not possible to rectify the entry. It is only possible to reverse the entry and post the correct entry. For that, we need to take the permissions and approvals from the hierarchy. Then only one entry can be posted. So before posting an entry, it should be understand carefully. Then only we can post the entry. Okay, this is about the entry level, and I'm just giving a brief idea so that everyone knows, because everyone is doing their own job and understand the things what is going on in a accounting department and accounts and finance department. Okay, COA means chart of account as a collection of GL account master. A chart of account is a collection of GL accounts that we use in a company code to record financial transactions and balances. These balances goes to trial balance, and based on which we can allocate these balances related to profit and loss account on balance sheet items. Therefore, all the GL accounts that our company code needs are contained in a chart of accounts. So that's the reason this chart of account is created for the company code level. Thus, it is always important to keep in mind the financial reporting based on the GL account transactions. As I told that without of posting of any transactions in a proper way means if the P&L account transaction goes to balance sheet and balance sheet item goes to P&L account, so here confusion creates. So before posting of the entry and creation of the GL, we should be very careful, and the person who is creating the GLs, we should give them a correct guidance so that he can make the entries and create the what is called the ledger at the time. So without giving the proper guidance, because for an example, in our company, the new fresher has joined, and he does not know what is GL and how to create and how to post. So we the seniors, we should give the training that no, this transaction is reflecting this and how to make the entries. So we should guide them. It doesn't hurt that anyone that, so no, I'm getting the I'm doing the silly things. It's not an means what is called, it's not an wrong thinking that the person who is interested to learn, so we should give the right direction, we should give the right information so that he can improve their career. And he should say that yeah, one of the person who has given us right information and right training so that I'm able to doing the right task. So next time I don't ask him to do these entries like this, because he has already trained, as we have already trained in the SAP. So we can know that how to make the entries and how to post the entries, how to create the GL, how to create the masters and all. Okay. So now coming to point of, I'm going to my practical experience. So don't think that I'm giving you some extra dose. Okay. So the time is now the types of the chart of accounts in SAP. There are different types of chart of accounts. One is operative chart accounts, country specific chart accounts, and group chart of accounts. So I'm going one by one. Operating chart of account mean day-to-day transactions that we are doing, and every day transactions from the day one to day end. So we do day-to-day transactions. It comes under operating chart of accounts. The T code is that we use OBY6 and use in the daily record of accounting entries. In addition, both FI and controlling, both modules, we use the chart of account. For controlling model, this means the operating chart of accounts contain the expenses and revenue account that are also cost and revenue elements in controlling. Because these are the all chart of accounts is interlinked with finance as well as controlling module. So it is linked up with expenses, and for controlling is only the cost of revenue, cost of expenses. Okay. Country specific chart of account, we use this type of to meet the country specific means we are using this country level. So means the company, we are in India, so we use the legal entity and we have to follow the tax procedure of the country, based on which we can generate the report and what is the tax to be payable to the government. So if the operating chart of accounts does not meet country specific legal and tax reporting requirements, then we can use country chart of accounts. Next is in other words, the country chart of accounts in GL structure prescribed under national regulation. As we are in India, so we need to follow the tax procedure and tax structure that is governed by, that is implemented by the our country. So we should follow this, based on which the country to country is varies, because US government follows their federal tax, and other country Europe follow their own country tax level. taxable tax procedures. So it is depends on the country level. The assignment of a country chart of accounts to company code is optional from the system configuration perspective, because we generally do only one configuration, that is company code to our GL masters. Okay. Next one is group chart of accounts, because as I told that we have a multiple companies and we want to know what is the consolidated profitability and profit and loss account of the all companies GL masters, because we have a two companies and these two companies cost and two companies profitability that we want to know. So this we can use group chart of accounts. We use this chart of account one to consolidation purpose. Consolidation means accumulate all the cost and all the revenues in one single format. The optional group that chart of accounts contain GL accounts that are entire enterprise. We call as group. Okay. As I told that in the first page, chart of accounts, general data, and company code data. So chart of account is over. So now this general data. Under the general data, what are the things is we need to observe? Like general data, we create GL accounts like FS00. It's a centrally, and we need to create one GL account and maintain them in a application menu path accounting. Okay, the financial accounting general master record GL account. This is true. We go with GL, what is called through path, based on which we start to create one GL account, or we simply go with FS00 for the GL creation. Okay, and this GL is link up with our masters. Individual and collective GL master data that we use to manage accounts individually or collectively. We must create GL account with basic data relevant to chart of accounts. T code is FSP0. This T code is used after creating the basic data. We can reuse it to create the same GL account for multi-company code, because we have created already FS00 with same company, means same GL, and we want to use same GL for another company. For that, we can assign this, means we can copy this GL to another company. Example, the GL account screen display using transaction FSP0 and containing the following three tables. What are the three tables? This is type or description, means the balance sheet item or cash or liquidity. This is the account group we are creating. This is balance sheet item. Okay, this is called description, means short text or long text that we can give for our bank account, and here the accounting key transactions and informations. These are mandatory or optional. We can keep it optional. We have created the GL account called 3001 for ICICI Bank. So likewise, we can use this GL, and also we need to assign our GL with chart of accounts. This is called operating chart of accounts, because these GLs are day-to-day operating chart of accounts. As I told that these are used for our day-to-day transactions, means recurring transactions. We can use this operating chart of account. Type and description tab. Here we can control the chart of accounts, which is where the most important settings are made. GL means I told that if this is balance sheet related items, we need to select balance sheet, and if this is, we need to select the cash or liquidity for the account group that we have created at the time of OBY6 for GL master creation and account group creation. Okay, the GL account type, let us select type of GL account type like balance sheet, non-operative expenses or revenue, primary cost or revenue, secondary cost or revenue, and cash. This cash and equivalent, that is link up with bank or cash in hand or cash in bank. Okay. Further, from the accounts group drop down, we choose and assign the account group, which determines the permitted GL account number, intervals, and specific GL master field are required, optional and suppress. Because we need to select these are the masters that is required or suppress or optional. Because based on that only the entries at the time of posting of entries, if we get an error, all are depends on these three fields. Field status. Okay. If the field status we wrongly put as optional, so not means there is no impact of anything. But if it is a mandatory and we keep it as suppress, it will show an error. So for that we need to resolve the error, and what is the first of all understand the error, then come to a conclusion that there is an issue that is raised due to this field status master that we have selected wrongly. Description area, that we know that if we are going to create a GL, that we need to, for our understanding purpose and the client requirement, we need to mention the short text as well as the long text for understanding purpose, as well as it will reflect in GL masters. The main word transaction tab allows you to designate keywords for the accounts, the chart of accounts, and designate the language in which to display, enter, and print text. Because if we have selected, we have created one GL account like bank account, and the currency that we have given for the country, our company code RLPL, and the company is located in India, but we have given a currency USD. That means it will reflect in USD, not in INR. So the company is in India, and we are using we have given a currency code is INR. Then the report will generate in INR. If we choose in USD, that means it will reflect in USD. But there will be an error shows, because the company code in India and we are choosing the INR. We need to assign forex, what is called FSV, foreign currency valuation. We need to configure. Then only the report will reflect. And this is related to forex transactions. Means forex say gain or loss. Okay. The information tab display when the accounts was created and by whom it was provided access to change document. Okay. The company code in GL master data is in SAP is, what is the importance of company code? Company code in the master record is most complex part of the GL master data in SAP. Without of it, the company code can't post financial transactions with the GL account. We need to select with GL and company. If we are unable to select this GL, because we are creating the GL with the company code level, not from the group level. So we are not creating any GL at the company. We are creating the GL company code level. Okay. And this is assigned with our chart of accounts. Here we are using some shortcut, like control tab. We are using this control tab. Control tab is currency, account currency, Indian rupee. And if it is balance sheet item, cash is a balance sheet item, that's why it is selected. Only balance in local currency. And here the short key is 001. This is posting date. It will start the transaction from the date of posting. And also one more important is control tab for the bank interest. that we need to select the field status is G001. This is also a posting data. The control data in the control data accrual control account control in company code area with a field that determine account setting for currency, exchange rate, taxes and reconciliation account and customer vendor or assets. Because we are selecting this for reconciliation purpose, we need to select whether it is assets or whether it is a supplier, whether it is a customer. For reconciliation purpose, it is required, but for the general data, it is not required. Means it is not a mandatory thing. In account management in the company code area, the GL master data. Here we set an open item management because open item management is related to vendor as well as the customer, not for the GL. Select the Open Item Management checkbox. Turn on the Open Item Management options. I mean the function. Open Item Management is relevant to the business process in which we need to have a GL given line items cleared. Here, one more question is Open Item Management that is also link up with the GL. GL means only the liability. So liability means we have to make the payment to the government, statutory department and all that we can keep as an open item. Till the payment was completed, till that date it will be open. Open item management. This one is an important concept and that is relevant to many processes including bank reconciliation, goods receipt, GRIR, accounts payable and accounts receivable. As I told that these are very important who are related to our GRIR as well as the bank reconciliation pickup because we have posted deposit the check for the customer and it is unclear. So that means this transaction is it is in open item management and the customer that we have generated the sales invoice but the goods had to deliver. That means GR is over, but sorry, MIGO is over, but GRIR is not done. So here also means it is also an open item because at the end of the month we have generated the bills, but we have not dispatched the goods. So that is also an open item. We have supplied the goods, but the payment was not received. That is also an open item. We purchase the material from the vendor and we have to make the payment to the vendor. So that is an also open item management. We have a liability to pay the government. That is also an open item management. The basic concept is that we expect the accounting entry that we post to the GL accounts offset means the clear item like inventory account, raw material account, inventory account debit to GRIR clearing. Whenever the goods we received, that means we need to enter this GRIR account clearance and vendor account to credit, right? In future and net to zero the transaction balance because this is the month end activities that we need to clear out so that these transactions open item to be zero. Each accounting entry in the GL clearing account has to have the status of open or cleared because these things to be cleared then on that only. If it is an open item, it should be cleared and we need to cross check why these transactions is in open item. Okay, the create bank interest screen. This include the control of the document creation in the company code area. We use these fields control setting during document creation. As I told that G001, it's a field status row. In that we need to select whether it is optional, required or suppressed mode. It determines the screen's layout for the document entry and specify the document line items fields that are optional, required or suspended. If we tick this, the post automatically only option indicate that we can post an account only through account determination and therefore can't manually enter a transaction. Once we have selected the account determination option. That means this will post automatically. But before that, we need to cross check that we have configured all are in a correct way or not. If there are any mistakes, that means at the time of posting of entry, it will show an error. Again, we need to go back and check the entries, check the transaction that we have configured properly or not. Then save it, then go back and start posting of the entry. If these configurations was done successfully, that means the all entries will be posted correctly and the report also generate as per the client requirement and as per our expectation. Okay. The final conclusion is creating GL master data record in SAP is a must before posting any accounting transaction to a GL account. It carries all important data that the general ledger requires to analyze account functioning. Okay, that's it for the session. Means this is the topic that from my end I've gathered. If anything is missed off, please let me know so that I will add